My boyfriend demanded a paternity test because our daughter was too black. He turned white as a sheet and started bawling when he saw the results. As the title says, my SO and I just had our first baby. We were over the moon when we discovered the pregnancy, and we were both really excited to have a child together. We wanted to get married next year, and everything was going great. We were happy. We both look very white, pale skin, blue eyes, brown and blonde hair. However, my great-great-grandpa was black, and some of his features have popped up here and there in our family. Kinky hair, darker skin, more black-looking facial characteristics. My SO knows this and has seen some of my aunts, uncles, and cousins who have these features. I, however, don't have any myself, and neither does my mom. Our daughter was born 5 days ago, and I guess she just got all the dormant genes in me because she's really dark-skinned compared to us with really curly hair. I think she's adorable, but my SO flipped. He accused me of cheating, that the baby couldn't possibly be his. I've never given him a reason to suspect me of infidelity, and I've certainly never cheated. We argued about it. I pointed at all my cousins and other relatives who have black features, but he refused to listen. He said our daughter looked too black for that to be a plausible explanation. He stormed out of the hospital, sent me a text an hour later that we were over, and when I got home from the hospital the next day, he wasn't there, and most of his personal belongings were gone. I tried to reach him, but he didn't answer my calls or texts until 3 days later, when he told me he demanded a paternity test to prove that I was a liar, and if I refused, I'd never see him again. I'm completely broken down and hurt over this. Our entire relationship has been so sweet and rational. This is completely unlike him. If he'd just calmly asked for a paternity test to begin with, I would have been hurt, but I guess I could understand the concerns. Our daughter looks nothing like him, but I don't think our relationship can survive this, even when I proved to him I wasn't lying. Should I go through with the test or just cut my losses here and raise her alone? Edit. I decided to get the test done. I'm still angry, but I guess I understand him a bit better now. Update 5 days later. Well, the results are in and of course she's his. The whole process was absolutely ridiculous. I got an appointment with the doctor and texted the time and location. He didn't answer but showed up, and the entire time he didn't say one word to me, and he didn't want to touch or even look at baby. Once he left, I just broke down, and I must say the doctor was really nice, didn't judge me or accuse me of anything, just calmly went over how the test works and told me babies are often born darker than they actually end up being. Baby was an absolute champ, barely fussed when they drew her blood. I got the results yesterday. I texted the news and asked if he wanted to come over and open it with me. After almost half an hour, he finally responded, yes, he'd like to come over. I'm thinking he either sent it while on his way, or he's not staying very far away because he was here in about 15 minutes. Well, we opened it and read the positive test together. He turned white like a sheet and then just started bawling. I had to shush him because he was crying so loudly. And finally, I got an explanation for his flip out. I mentioned in a comment on the old post that he was an only child to very old parents. His dad died a few years ago, and his mom lives alone a few hours drive from us. I haven't met her often, but she seemed pleasant enough. Turns out she hates me, hates my guts, and always has. I had no idea about this. She's always acted kind of snobby, sure, but I had no idea she disliked me this much. When So called her to tell her the good news 8 months back when we discovered the pregnancy, she started crying, and as the months passed, she continued being super negative about the whole thing and saying she doubted the baby was his. I was below them. Poor people cheat because they're raised in a fucked up environment, and instead of talking to me about this, So kept silent while constantly doubting me more and more. Baby being black just put the final nail in the coffin that his mother was right, and I was a good-for-nothing cheating bitch. After telling me all this, we just sat in silence for a while. Finally, he asked if he could hold the baby. I was still angry as hell, but decided that holding her was his right. He's her father after all. I went and got her from her crib, let him have her, and he started crying again, which scared her, and she started crying too. So they were just sitting there bawling together for a while. Finally, he stopped, handed her back, and asked if he could come home. I was kind of taken aback. I didn't expect him to just flat out ask that already. I laid out everything I said in the last thread, how insanely disrespectful and childish he'd been, how he'd horribly broken my trust, hadn't talked to me about his mom's poisonous and ignorant comments, completely ignores me for 3 days not telling me where he is or if he's even alive, and then he just waltzes in and wants to start living here again. I told him if he ever wanted to have some inkling of a chance of mending the relationship, we had to go to couples therapy ASAP. He will not be staying here for a while, and finally he needs to tell his mom to back the fuck off. She will not be seeing baby until she apologizes to me in person. He immediately agreed. Baby is doing great considering how many stress hormones she must have been drinking from me these last few days. Her hair is falling out, but the doctor told me it was normal and babies often lose most or all the hair they're born with. I'm hoping her new hair will grow in blonde. That would make her even cuter.